how to find the original flying star of the house. There are 4 steps in total. The first one is to find out when the house was born in terms of the year of birth of the house. Once we find out the year of birth, then we know which period the house was born. The second step, find out the facing of the house. Like a human, this is the facing and that is the back. The house has its own facing as well. It is not depends on where the door is. Just like a human, we know that this is the front and that is the back. The house has its own facing as well, and it does not related to the door you use. You might be using the back door or the side door, may not be the front door. Okay, and then the third step is find out the orientation of the house to measure how many degrees the house is facing. Then only we come to the step 4. That is to find the original flying star of your house. Okay, now we are going to talk about the third step, finding orientation of your house. To find the orientation of your house, there are 7 steps in total. The first step is print out the T-space compass on a transparent laminated paper. Okay, this can be downloaded when you join the monthly T-space way. If you haven't, join it now. Just click the link below. The second step is get your compass ready. Either you can get a physical compass or you can download a compass in your smartphone. If you are not sure how to download a compass in your smartphone, you can ask Siri if you are using iPhone, or you can ask Google if you use Android phone. Then the third step is go outside of your house. I would like to emphasize that you must go outside of your house to take the orientation. Why? Because if you take the orientation inside the house, the reading might be interfered by any iron related matter, as the house is always built with a lot of iron bars. There are also Feng Shui practitioners who do not understand about this. That's why they took the wrong measurement, and of course every single Feng Shui activation is going to be wrong. So the third step is go outside of your house. You have to stand in front of the door. Keep a distance of at least 3 to 5 meters. And of course, do not stand next to your car. If you do not live in a house but you live in an apartment or a condominium, you have to go outside of your apartment or condominium facing the biggest balcony or facing the biggest window of your apartment, and then bring out your compass. Remember, your compass must be parallel with the door or the balcony like that. And again, if you live in an apartment or a condominium, you do not take the reading of the entrance of the entire building, because you are not measuring the building. You are only measuring the orientation for your own unit. Then, step 4 is take the reading. If the reading is 14 degrees north, mark it down. Step 5. Get the floor plan ready. It has to be an accurate floor plan. Even if you draw it by hand, the ratio must be accurate. And step number 6 is find out the central point of the floor plan. What if there's a garage? For example, as we can see that this garage is outside of your living area. It's not in the house, so we do not include the garage. Just draw a rectangle and then draw a cross in the middle. Where these 2 lines meet is the center point. This is the second example. If the garage is like that, then you have to draw a rectangle like that. Anything outside the rectangle is excluded. Then draw a cross in the middle and find out the center point. The third example is when the garage is completely in the rectangle. Then of course, you still have to draw a rectangle and then draw a cross and find out the center point. The next question is, what if the second floor is smaller than the first floor like this? Do you use the same center point or you draw it according to the second floor layout? In that case, if you have 2 floors and they are not equally the same size, then this is what you do. The first floor will have its own center point, and then the second floor, you draw another rectangle and then a cross to find out the center point, and this is the center point for the second floor. So if you live in an apartment or a condominium, do you include the balcony or not? Now, because we always want to draw a square or a rectangle, so in this example is you have to include the balcony. If the balcony is outside of the rectangle, then you do not include the balcony. Okay, let's move on. Once you found the center point, then you can erase the cross in the middle. Now, we will go to step 7, which is map the T-space compass on your floor plan. Remember, you must map the T-space compass, the center point of the compass, with the center point of the floor plan. If this is your floor plan, you have to use pencil to cross the floor plan from the top right to the bottom left, and then from the top left to the bottom right. Draw a big cross, and where these two lines meet, that is the central point. Remember, draw it with pencils so that you can erase these two lines after that, but leave the central point there. So when you draw the central point, you only include what is in your house. You do not include the front yard or your backyard or the car porch. You do not include that. You only draw from where you will leave the living space. When you take the measurement, you are standing in front of this door, which is here. So when you get north 14 degrees north, so that is north. This side is north and this side is the south. That side is north, this side is the south. If happen your floor plan has some sort of missing corner like this, then you have to fill up that corner. Just draw a few dots like that, add up that corner, then only you draw a cross on your floor plan to find the center point. After finding the central point, remember, erase the two lines and leave the central point there. We are going to map this printed compass on your floor plan. If it is north 14, put it on the top of your floor plan, and then you can see all these 8 lines that divides the house into 8 sections. Now, you may choose to use a pencil or a pen to just mark down these 8 lines like that. And then, once all these 8 lines are marked down, use your ruler to equally divide the floor plan into 8 sections. Now, we have got the floor plan divided into 8 sections, and it is very clear that this section is north, that is south, this is east, that is west, and then we also have northeast, southeast, northwest, and also southwest. Okay, now imagine this is your apartment or condominium, and the biggest windows or the biggest balcony is over here. Alright, so you actually took the measurement while standing here. And for example, if the degree you got is 284 degrees west. Alright, so now it's the same thing. We are going to draw a cross in the middle of the floor plan and try to get the center point. First we draw a cross, and we got the central point. And now we are going to map the compass central to central, and then make sure over there is 284 west. Okay, and then we are going to put the mark according to the 8 lines. Yep, very good. Now we have got the X sections done, and we are going to see where is 284 west. Alright, that's 284 west. So here will be west, and then this is northwest. This section is north, this is northeast, this section is east. So your balcony here is actually facing east. this side. And here is southeast, this is south, and this is southwest. Now you have got the X sections done for your apartment or condominium. Remember, if this is the biggest window, this is how you take it. I would like to give you another scenario. If your balcony is here, extended outside of the floor plan, okay? This is your balcony. So you do the same thing to find the central point like that. You do not try to include the balcony because the balcony is outside of your house. But what if your balcony is inside part of the floor plan like that? It's built inside within. It's still the same because it is inside part of the house, okay, part of the building. You still do the same thing to find the center point. It is the same. Okay, hope that's clear. Now, I would like to share with you a real story why it is so important to take the measurement outside of your house. There was a person hired a Feng Shui practitioner to do the Feng Shui of his house. And after that, every time they went out, whether they go to work, whether they go out for shopping or whatever, every time they went out, either him or his family member always meet a car accident. Always, every time. So it continued for a while until he hired another Feng Shui practitioner to audit the Feng Shui of his place. And what we found out was, even the measurement, the reading at the first place was wrong. Because if you stand too close to your house, or if you did it in your house, the magnet, the compass, can be easily interfered by any iron-made material. So when it comes to taking measurement, you must go outside of the house to do it. If the reading you take is wrong, again, everything could be wrong. By now, you might have another question. Ian, the entrance I use is actually the back door. So, should I measure it in front of the house or at the back of my house? Okay, if there's enough space in front of your house, taking the measurement in front of the house is definitely the best. However, if there isn't enough outdoor space to make sure that the compass reading is correct, whereas if there is a lot of space at the back of your house, then go to the back, facing your back door and take the measurement. For those who live in the condominium or an apartment, you have to take your reading facing the balcony. So the logic is that as long as there's enough space and you are not standing too close to your house or your car or any iron-made material, then there is where you should take the reading, okay? So the first step is get the year of birth, which is which period your house was born, correct. Second is get the facing of your house, correct. And then the third one is get the reading correct. For the last step of finding out the original flying style of your house, that is available for all the T-Space mates. Sign up for T-Space Way now and you will know the original flying style of your house for free. Other than the original flying style, all T-Space mates would receive at least one short-term Feng Shui activation every month for free. Promotion price is only $1. This is Ian Ho. I'll see you there.